I think this is an excellent day to have this roundtable because a certain Adam Carolla made some comments. Probably said, and no one can spell his name right.
It's like the car, right?
I think it's
Carolla.
Yeah.
I think it's Carolla.
There's a C-A.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
We should all Google it.
That's a good. People will know how to. Yeah. But yeah.
Carolla is spelled A-S-S.
So what do you think about it?
So I mean, in case this video gets edited after that's not like the hot button topic, Carolla basically said that female comedians aren't nearly as funny as men, and female writers on like late night shows and comedy shows are there to fill a quota basically, and that they are the least funny writers in writers' rooms, and if his daughter had a bad sense of humor, he'd let her know and say, just be pretty and marry rich. And like, just real asshole things.
That's actually
like
not what he said. I'm not trying to defend him, but you did not say those words.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He said he would encourage her to be a female writer because she wouldn't have to do anything. She could never get fired, and it would be a great gig.
He's not as anti-feminist as to say, don't have a job.
Get pregnant quickly. Like, okay, all right. But yeah, so, I mean, I feel as though it's not true, and it's an unfair representation because there are so many more men doing stand-up, and so I feel like this should be a call to more women to try and get into stand-up or comedic performance. It should be like, women should be like, no, I'm funny, I'm gonna try it out and I'm gonna get into it. Like, if nothing else propels me to get into it, this should be one of the things that helps me get into it.
I was thinking about this, and you're right. Like, I think that there's the same percentages of funny men and unfunny men, and funny women and unfunny women. But the thing that, like, you say, oh, this should be a call to action. Like, I'm funny, I should try it. Like, the thing is, though, like, Adam Carolla, he probably only said that because he wanted, publicity for his book.
Yeah.
Come on.
But I mean, like,
you think so?
Yeah. But like, the thing is, if you take him and be like, oh, here is a bitter man, misogynistic about women in comedy, but he's successful. Like, there are so many hundreds of other men who feel exactly the same way, but they're local bookers. And like, you try to get on a show, but they think women aren't funny, and they're already bitter about how they didn't make it, and so they don't want anybody else to make it, and especially not women. Like, I don't know, I kind of feel that.
See, I feel like there are idiots everywhere. Like, there are, what I mean? Like, I just, like, there are small-minded people in all walks and stripes and flavors of life, and like, comedy, professional, like, it doesn't matter. Like, there are wonderful, genius, incredibly brilliant, creative, wonderful people, and then there are fucking morons the world over. And, like, yeah, there are bitter people, and sometimes they're really unfortunately placed. But, like, I feel like the answer there, on a personal level, is to go out and kill every single time so that they can't not have you.
Right.
Like, it's the type of thing where it's like, I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not trying to be the funniest lady. I'm trying to be the funniest. Like, it doesn't matter what the qualifier is. It's not like, I'm the funniest brunette. Like, that's stupid. Like, But I also think his whole, like, I don't think they're funny. I gotta say, like, I am not in the demo for the Man Show. Like, that's when he was Kimmel's sidekick. Like, that's not my demo. And that's, like, I think there's a second criticism that comes out of this, which is that, like, men and women talk differently and communicate differently. And, like, women tend to talk about the world through themselves. Which, like, everybody does. Like, that's, our experiences make us who we are. But that idea of, like, let me tell you the story about me, and hopefully you get something out of it, or at least you see what's funny, like, that is different, and that is sort of harder to see. Like, in the same way that, like there are more male action stars than female action stars, because ladies can be okay with identifying with, like, the hot guy running around saving people, but men are like, I am not like her. That's sort of, like, it sucks, but, like, so just go be fucking awesome until there's no choice.
Can I make an amendment to what I said? Like,
what
I meant before is, like, yeah, I do want to go out and be the funniest, and, like, kill and be the best I can be. So I have a talent that's undeniable, and they have to put me on shows because they want to fill rooms because I've gotten to the point where I have that kind of draw. But like, what I mean is, if women are inspired to like fight against the man, Adam Carolla says women aren't funny, well, I'm going to go out and try my hand at stand-up. But like, unless you're really committed, the atmosphere is so hostile that like there could be a woman who's really funny, and if she like pursued this, she could really have something. But there's so many people that are against her. That's why they sit at home. Like, that's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's like, it's just so many major hurdles to get past, to get from that point of like, coming to a stage, she's a lady, here you go. Like, that's, you know, it's really, and it is, even when people are like, think they're being supportive and being funny, it's still okay to comment about your appearance. It's still okay to comment about, like I get hit on by married men regularly, that I just look at them and say, but you're married. Sorry, shucks, we were never gonna make it. Like, you have a wife and kids that I just saw 2 days ago. Why are you hitting on me? Like, you don't talk to the other male comics like that, or you hit on, do you not find them attractive? What's wrong with them? Like, you know, there's a lot you have to I agree, like, there's a lot you have to overcome. It's a very, like, it can be a very misogynist field, but like, it's okay that Adam Carolla is wrong. Like, it's okay. Let him be dumb. Like, that's fine.
It is sort of like, just to go back to like the attractiveness thing, like part of like what, like one of the reasons I had to say something about it was because like the idea that like if the roles were reversed, if like just picture a female MC being like, Eric, come back on the stage, like, Eric, make a muscle for us, look at these arms, like, it's preposterous, right? Like, that would never,
I'm gonna do that. Like, come here, let's see that booty, come here, come here, let's turn it around, and like,
just pick up that tracksuit boy.
Exactly, laughable, and it would never happen, but like, the fact that this happened didn't really raise any eyebrows. You know what I mean? It was just sort of like, this is happening, I kind of was like, doesn't anyone else think this is weird? I don't know. And I think that like with the whole Adam Carolla thing, like I take a really different perspective in terms of like I don't aspire to like, I'm gonna prove you wrong, Adam Carolla, because I think that like he's so entrenched in like this confirmation bias where he's just like, you know, this is what I think, and you know, yeah, sure, there are exceptions to the rule, like Sarah Silverman, who dated my best friend Jimmy Kimmel, like, you know, I wonder how that infiltrated his perception of women being funny or not, if that's like your best friend's girlfriend. And I don't like aspire to, I'm just kind of more like, I'm just gonna keep doing like what I think is funny for that one person who I'm like, that is not a compliment.
You said it though! We'll talk after.
You do you.
Yeah. Do you.
Do you.
You know, and just sort of, and I do totally agree, like he's, you know, he's entitled to have his opinion, and there's nothing wrong with this, and you know, it's his thing.
Adela.
Okay, my opinion is, fuck him.
Right.
I don't even know who he is. I don't know. And it's like, and I'm like, who is this? I had to go all the way down to the end of the article to even see it. I wouldn't have even read it or even seen it had you not brought it up. I'm like, I'm in my own world. I care less.
So until this person made this inflammatory comment, you had never even heard of him.
I don't even know
Is
who
that
he
correct?
is.
What an interesting way for things to play out.
Who is this no one saying, who is funny?
Like, what? I can care less about him. And in addition to being a comedian, I'm a businesswoman, and I'm a woman who love and support women, so fuck all men. I'm about to really...
Well, it's been fun, so I'm gonna leave before I get stabbed.
No, I mean, because as soon as I jumped out there, I mean, I guess I kind of ran into some of these issues too, but I run into it everywhere. It doesn't matter. Comedy is no different. It's just the world that we live in. And so I use the same tactics in comedy as I do in business. So I'm like, okay, I'll create my own platform. I'll create my own show. I'll create a place for women and leave the men out.
Yeah.
And so that's how I try to deal with it. I just create it myself and not really wait for anyone to create it for me.
I think in some ways that's what people who think like Adam Carolla want. They don't want women to infiltrate the boys' club. you know, and part of what he said, you know, about the female writers on the Man Show, et cetera, staff were not as funny. How funny would Adam Carolla be on the Gay Show? As a writer, you know, I mean, do you think that they would think he's very funny? And I think that, you know, part of his comments are, I think in politics they refer to it as appealing to the base. Mm-hmm. Like, he's got a new book coming out. He knows who his people are and what they think like, and that's the type of comment that you can expect to stir up some support from people who will maintain
his base.
Exactly, like that women aren't funny, and that's like a nice way to sort of like keep them out of that world, I think, like by sort of being like, you have to go off and do your own funny lady comedy about, you know.
But see, like that's, yeah, it's like, it honestly, like, it almost annoys me that we're having this conversation, because it's this innately divisive thing, and now this blowhard who's got this opinion that he's entitled to, like, everybody has their own opinion, has created this thing, he's getting this, that's like whatever, he needs the money, I'm sure. But now we have to sit here and talk about, like, are women funny? I don't know, guys, we need to stop. No offense. But, like,
it's the last bastion of bigotry.
It's just
It's
sort of
the
like,
comment where, like, are black people funny? Like, who would have that conversation? You know, are Asian people
Black people
funny?
are the
Are,
let's be real.
you know, are Hispanics funny? Are people in wheelchairs funny? Like, who would entertain that conversation? But, like, if it concerns women, I totally agree with you. On the one hand, it's, like, super irritating to even, like, address it. But on the other hand, we don't.
Fuck him, and let's continue to do us.
Whoever he is.
Right. Whoever this man is.